young black
a young black
equestrian,
equestrian,
black equestrian.
black equestrian.
I'm a young black equestrian.
I am a young black equestrian.
Huge thanks to our anonymous reviewer that left this review on Apple Podcasts. So refreshing to see a podcast that highlights professionals and people who are not professionals and to learn about their journey navigating this tough sport. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Young Black Equestrians. We have Taylor Harden here on the show today. Welcome, Taylor.
Hey.
So, Taylor, we start off each episode sharing something that we are thankful for. So if you would like to start, share or tell us something that you are thankful for today.
Well, something simple for me. There's so much, but something real simple that just immediately pops into my mind is my war horse, Thunderstorm, because I feel like he helps me check myself. Like, if he's not acting right, I know I got to look within and be like, what's happening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when I get my mind right, he just looks at me like, yeah, this is you. This is how you're supposed to be. And I'm like, okay, thanks, Storm.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Horses definitely do that. Definitely.
Yeah.
You're thankful for.
I'm gonna piggyback off of you. I'm thankful for my horoscope. She is getting up there in age and she's carrying kids. And yesterday I was kind of just admiring her for who she is. I love her so much. And I've had that horse since I was a little girl. So I'm really thankful for her.
Oh, go.
I love it so much. Yes.
All right. What am I thankful for? I don't remember what I said last time, but I am thankful for finally taking the leap and quitting my full-time job to be a full-time entrepreneur and to develop this podcast into something amazing. It's already freaking amazing, but to put more effort into it because the possibilities are endless. So I am thankful for finally having the clarity and having the support, like Caitlin every single day telling me I need to quit. I'm thankful for everybody I have around me who's helped me make that leap. So yeah.
Well, okay, that was a good one.
Girl, okay. So tell us about yourself, where you are located, what you do, what you ride, all that.
Okay, I'm in Tumalo, Oregon. It's kind of around the Bend, Redmond area, but it is tiny, so people usually don't know. So I'm like, Bend is the overall location. Mount is Thunderstorm, as previously mentioned. He's a 14-year-old Tennessee Walker, and I've been working with him for 8 years now.
Sorry, my face. But everybody has a Tennessee Walker.
Yes! Yes!
And I'm over it.
It is so funny. We need to go back through the episodes and tally how many people have Tennessee Walker horses.
We should make a video of like a
compilation. Like, I gotta
video.
walking horse, walker. Oh my God, I'm so excited because I have a Tennessee Walker. So every time somebody says it, I'm like,
and then I'm like, I roll.
And then she's rolling her eyes.
So I didn't want you to think that it's just that literally everybody. And we've talked to over 40 people.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, it was, for me, it wasn't purposeful. It was just like, I think we're supposed to, like couple up equine human now. Okay, yeah, I think this is us now.
Oh. So what do you do?
You know, like as long as it's a horse with all 4 feet. Mounted archery.
Mounted archery. So
And working into mounted combat in general, swords, axes, spears, throwing knives, boom, roasted.
Warrior.
Everything. Just like fight from horseback in general.
Do you fight on the ground?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So
I've done some martial arts things, and I feel like if you can't do some stuff on the ground, then when you get mounted, it's not gonna work out.
Right.
Okay. Let me rewind because I got a lot of questions. So how did you get into mounted archery?
Okay, well, I usually start off by telling everybody that it was Jesus, because it was just so random how it happened. Because I was helping out Mustangs Rescue, and I was at a horse expo, just like totally random, just like, oh, you need help? I got you. Never been here before? Yeah. And they were doing a mounted archery demonstration, and I was all like up on the rail, like the whole time, you know, because I was like, that is awesome. I need to get me some of that. And there's a lot of setup and takedown that goes into mounted archery, because when you're going into arena you're not familiar with, you got the stands, you got the targets, you got you put like guiding stakes along as a track so the horse knows where to run in like a wide open area. It's like, here's where you go. And there were 2 people running around like chickens with their head cut off, like and me, I always function better when I'm helping rather than just spectating. So I was like, hey, could you use help? And they were like, yes. And so I helped out with that. And the head instructor at the time, Holm Newman, who's like one of the nicest old men you'll ever meet, is just like, home. And he was so grateful for my help that he offered me a free lesson, and went out there and was like, yes, this is my life now. And he gave me my first quiver for free, because he said that I had some potential, which I was like, I didn't incentive, but like, thank you. I'm totally ready for this. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's cool. I don't know. I feel like I'm still waiting on that, like, because I don't know what I'm doing with my horse. But anywho, I think that is so cool how people get into these kind of small niches, like all of a sudden, like randomly, like somebody was passing by on the street and said, hey, you want to shoot this bow? And they were like, yeah. So you got your quiver. How did you kind of say, or how did you kind of get with your horse and y'all talk like, hey, this is going to be what we're going to do. We're going to train to do this. Like, how was that transformation?
Well, first of all, I had already been working with him for about 2 years at that point. Well, I had been working with a lot of Buck Brannaman type horsemanship, like really super passionately for at least 2 years up to that point, and we were kind of looking for something to do with all of this connection and feel that we've been developing. Like, we were just heading around and looking at him and being like, what now? And when I found this, I went straight home and I was like, Storm, okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get on your back, right? I'm gonna have a bow and I'm gonna shoot it, right? So like, that's gonna be our new thing. You in? Okay, I'm sure you're in, let's go. And so I just slowly started introducing him to the arrows and the bow and everything. What seems to catch their attention the most is just when the arrow hits the target, it's just like it's like a pop. And they hear the arrow leave the string and they're like, I'm sure that's the only noise that's going to come from that. Oh, dang it, it hit something. And then that's the one that gets them. So I did a lot of work on the ground. And then what really helped me, because it allowed him to do whatever he needed to do with me being safe, I was up on the fence and I shot over his back so he could start to get used to the different perspectives of what that would be like. And he had I think maybe one moment where he got like the big bush baby eyes, where he was like, what just happened? And he had one of those on each eye, and then he was good. And then started out walking, and it takes a lot of practice to figure out how to put your mind on shooting and still ride well at the same time. So when I first started, I felt like every time I went to try and focus on shooting well, my seat and everything went to crap, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Storm, I'm not, dang it, no, crying out loud, okay. And we're riding again, and another, oh, dang it, it's happening again, I'm sorry, Storm. And so for Stormy was fine, but for me, it took a while just to get used to kind of compartmentalizing, and you kind of got to separate two halves of your body. Bottom half, riding, top half, shooting. Full on centaur.
That is so funny. Well, this is your jam. I know you got questions.
I'm just ready to start. Like I told you earlier, it just seems like it has taken me forever. I've been talking about this for a few years. I just got my bow this year. And, what type of bow do you have? Let's start there.
Oh my goodness. So some extra things came that need to, but this is Nomad Black Shadow bow. It's based on a Korean style, but made with more modern materials, so it's not so finicky in weather changes, or if it gets rained on, or if you leave it strung for too long. Because all those natural materials, you got to baby them for them to last, because you just leave like a natural made bow with horn, sinew, hide glue in the sun, and everything will start to come apart, and it may even warp in a wrong way. So first bow for me was like modern materials doesn't need all of that, because the worst one, like it felt like I had abused my bow or something. I left it strung and in the rain for like 3 hours. It was horrible. I was distracted by throwing atlatls and spears. I said I was sorry though, and it was fine. So it really made me believe and support this bow, because it was there for me even when I forgot about it.
So how many bows did you go through before you kind of settled on one that you knew fit?
So how I work is I find what I like, and I'm like, this one. You want to try this one? No, this one. And so working with Home, it was crazy. He had just gotten shipped this bow for like a sponsorship, because Home is pretty big, especially in the US mounted archery community. And so they wanted him to test it out and be able to vouch like, this is a good bow.
Right.
And so I was over for like my next lesson, and he was pulling this thing out of the box, and I was like, oh my goodness, so pretty. And he was like, you want to use it today? I think you're strong, because it's a 35 pound. And yeah, I was like, this is my bow, this is it. And to the point where, because I played softball, and when you wear in your glove Like, you don't want to go buy another one. Like, wearing it in is its whole thing. I felt like I did that with this bow. So I was like, home, can I buy your bow from you? And then you could have the money to, like, have him send you another one. And he was like, okay, yeah. And so for me, that was really cool because I always have that connection to him, like, not only through my quiver, but through my first bow.
That's dope. The one that I have is called Tartar.
Show your bow.
Tartar.
Oh, Tartar.
Ta-ta.
And I don't know anything else about it. Like, literally nothing else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can you see it? Oh, here we go.
Is that considered natural? It's made out of
wood.
It's natural. You better take care of that thing.
It's fiberglass, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool. But I was talking to
it's not completely natural. It's like my bow where it's made with wood, but what's wrapping it is more modern stuff.
So I haven't used it yet because I don't have
but yeah,
arrows.
that's a
So I had to go buy those today.
Yeah.
Where do you get supplies for these bows?
If this Sportsman's Warehouse is like the in-person's place. They usually have like a compound bow section and like a teeny tiny little recurve section, and they like looking for help. Don't always listen to what they say because they are informed, but they are informed in hunting compound bows and what those need, not mounted archery horse bows.
Right. And that is what I only talk to the mounted archers. And I'm like, what do you suggest? Because I know if I go to someone who doesn't do mounted archery, it's totally different.
Yeah. So there are different like arrow lengths. There are different grains in the arrows, which is like how much flex the arrow has. It comes off the string because you're familiar with the archer's paradox?
No.
Okay. That's when the arrow comes off the bow. It fishes in the air. It does like a little wiggle, like a little dance, and then straightens out before it hits what you're shooting at. And so depending on how powerful your bow is, you need the correct grain of your arrow for it to be able to fly right. Because with my bow that's a little bit heavier poundage, for the mounted archery world, not in general, like they go to 70, but and more. But I was trying to show my friend something with her arrows that she got from Walmart, and the grain was not very high. Like the lower the number, the more flex in the arrow. And they're probably maybe 300, and the ones I shoot are like 400 or 500 grain. And it has so much flex in it that it came around the bow and slapped me in the wrist before I left the bow. I was like, that's aggressive. Oh
my goodness.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
so the ones that you shoot
can't
are
just
like
throw
500
random arrows and a bow together and hope they work out. You kind of gotta have a little strategy to it.
Okay, that's good to know.
Right, there's just so much to learn. What did you make your targets or did you buy them?
I made my targets and got them broken down, like could put your fist through targets for other people who didn't want them anymore, and just duct tape the crap out of them. Just like make a mummy out of that thing, and then it's fine. Perfect. Yes. It's ready to go. And
What are they made
when I
out
first
of?
got started, sometimes they're made out of straw, sometimes they're made out of like lighter styrofoamy things. I have targets that I do not know what they are made out of. I just know that they are very heavy and obnoxious to move anywhere.
Better get you some hay bales.
They're made
Right.
out of like it's almost like barn mat material, but a little lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Like not quite so dense.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I think the best comparison I can make is in like kindergarten or preschool, when you have those like really big soft puzzle pieces that you like push together and you could like squeeze them like that kind of material. I don't even know what to call that, but that stuff, that is awesome for targets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And me personally, when I first got into it, I just went out for a lot of pizza.
To use pizza boxes.
Well,
Yeah, I just got one and I put about 3 together, and then again, duct tape.
Well, thank you for that life
my
hack.
best friend,
Right.
and new target.
Cool.
Because those things are expensive, and
I know, right? I'm like, I could get a new bow for the price of something that I'm gonna fill with holes. No, I
Exactly.
can't do
you
it.
have to replace it.
Yeah.
Do you compete at all?
I do. I have once. It's just hard because there's not a lot of competition happening where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, I'm not driving a truck and trailer yet. So the transportation is a little bit more complicated for me in general. Like the only one that I had access to was in Washington. And it was more like a play day. Like it wasn't like a full-fledged, like official competition. But like the big stuff, Texas, maybe some in Montana, East Coast, like Tennessee, basically everywhere I'm not.
Right. Right.
So it's like I want to, but it's just challenging. So a part of my motivation right now is working on trying to get to a place where I can provide a competition where I could be like, hey, can you come over here and compete with me?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
No.
That would be cool.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Fly. Fly trip. Fly through the air.
But the coronavirus.
Lord have mercy. We'll be there in about 4-5 weeks.
We gonna come on horseback.
Yes.
I got a few extra beds. It's cool. It's cool.
So, you were talking about competing. Oh, so when you practice, I know you said that you kind of got into it because it was inside of an arena. We talked to another guy who I guess travels internationally and does mountain archery, and we watched some like videos, and they're like out in a field with all the different lanes and targets and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're all different kinds of tracks.
Okay, I was just gonna ask what was your preference, or what do you practice on the most?
I love wide open areas where you can like put a ton of targets in a single line and just be like, Stormy, fly like the wind. Ah! Like it's so like it's freeing. Like because when you're in an arena, you have to be like, oh no, now I gotta turn. Oh, okay, slowing down. Oh no, that's a baby. Oh, the trajectory. It's behind the target. No, baby, please go behind. No.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like out in the field, it's a lot less stressful for a number of different reasons.
Mm-hmm. How many arrows can you hold in your hand at once?
4 or 3.
And you can still shoot accurately? That's dope.
Yeah, you just gotta hold it right. Like, just gotta string this thing.
Okay. Oh my goodness, we're getting a whole tutorial. Oh Lord. Okay. What?
Well, this makes sense.
It bends completely in the opposite direction.
Right.
So that is the wonders of the recurve, and that's the re.
Oh, I'm not about to get up and do that either.
I'm like, oh wow.
Now it looks like the bow.
Okay.
This is so cool.
I know. Okay, close my mouth.
I took an archery class.
So you get them all lined up, real nice, like crayons in a crayon box. And then you load them in your knuckle right behind the bow because you want the arrow to not have any obstruction. So when I bring this arrow around to load, these other ones that I'm holding aren't in the way.
Right. Do you have a knock point on your bow?
I have it on one of my bows, but not on this one. And I've been practicing to not need the knock point anymore.
And what's that mean?
But I needed to change.
What is a knock point?
Okay. That might take a minute. No, it won't.
Yeah, we come to stay with you.
I know.
All this house.
We're going on a whole field trip.
For real though. Okay, now I gotta string up this one.
So is there like a bow in every room?
Yeah,
What is happening?
just in case, intruder.
Well, there is a weapon in every room of this place. Yes, at least 2, actually.
That's crazy.
Nope, I'm not even gonna try it. I'm gonna have to let somebody show me first.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I just assumed that was like you just gonna put the string down there.
No, it ain't
And
even
then
gonna stay.
I was like, oh, I like a little Lisa Gibson. Sorry.
It's all good. That was funny.
Oh.
So I don't know if you can see, but this right here is the knocking point.
And so that keeps.
And so that's really helpful for no look shooting, because when you knock, you just bring the arrow up to hit that. And so it like stops, and you can feel that and know where the arrow is on your bow. And I had to like completely rethink, because I have a friend who doesn't shoot with knocking points, and he was making fun of me for shooting with a knocking point. And I'm like, well, fine, I can shoot without a knocking point either. So it's been a whole thing.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I feel like I should just learn how to do it without
Without it, yeah, yeah.
I don't knock it at all. Like, you don't have to listen to my friend.
Well,
If the knocking point is what you feel like makes you the archer that you want to be, that's awesome. Me, if I ever feel like something is being any kind of a handicap or a limitation, or I feel like I need something to do something else, I like to be able to try not to see if I could develop skills in other areas. In theory.
Yeah. Speaking of that, in reading your responses on our scheduler, you mentioned being diagnosed with Lyme disease at a young age.
Yeah.
Let's chat about that, because I literally just got like a whole master's degree basically in infectious disease. So I know. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, word? Okay. We're gonna talk about that as long as you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Tell us how that whole journey, got you to where you are today.
Oh, wow. So it all kind of started when I was 13. So when I started going through puberty, all of these symptoms started coming out, and were slowly like eating away at what I was able to, kind of limiting what I was able to do. And nobody could figure out what it was. No matter how many doctors we went to, no matter how many therapists we went to, because the doctors sent us there because they were saying, all my diplomas on my wall are not telling me what you have, so I'm pretty sure it's in your head. Therapy. Yeah. So that happened, and just like years and years and years, all the way to 17, where I finally got a diagnosis, and I was like, oh my gosh, all of this makes so much sense. Except for the one factor of the target bite. And it's because I'm one of the first recorded cases in Oregon to be through utero. So my mom had it, and then she got pregnant with me, and so I've always had it, and it just came at me when I started getting older, starting to become a teenager, that kind of a thing. It came out in headaches, nausea, body aches, and extreme fatigue. Just like for no reason, you would have nothing. And it was just really frustrating. And it got to the point where I wasn't even able to walk without help. Either someone like there to hold my arm, or me hold them to like steady me, or I had to use a walker for a while. And then I tried to go back to school, and they're like, okay, you're gonna need to take this walker with you to school. And I'm like, no. And so I figured out how to use trekking poles, like hiking poles instead. And everybody just thought like I was a really dedicated, like passionate hiker. And I was like, yes, just getting it in, just getting those steps in, fine.
That is amazing. I mean, you made it work.
Yeah, and try to do things that made it to where I could make the most out of what little energy I did have. And one of those was going out to be with horses, because that has always been the one place where no matter what's going on, everything feels all right. Everything feels just fine. And like, because they still look at me and will still listen to me the same way, no matter what can or can't do.
Mhm.
It's all because it's all about energy with them. It's just like, oh my gosh, I just love them so much. But moving on. So I started trying to play with that a little bit more, and instead of just feeding in the morning and night, I was like, I want to start doing more stuff. So I started kind of working with some of the horses in the ground pen, and like, I don't know if you can imagine a girl like trying to like go around with trekking poles and to work a horse at Liberty in ground pen. I'm sure it looked a little awkward, but they were really there for me and did what I wanted or what I asked for. And this one day in particular, I was just frustrated because I just wasn't able to keep up. And because timing is so important when you're working with horses and getting it like, you know, right when they're ready to change to something else. And I was missing it because I was off balance. And it was just so frustrating. I was like, I know what to do, but I can't make my body do it. And I tried to like force myself. I lost my grip on my trekking poles, and I was about to fall flat on my face when all of a sudden Storm was right there, and he caught me with his neck. And like he came out of nowhere, and I was just like, thanks, Storm, like my entire body weight, and he was just like, hey, thank you.
Aww.
And then he like slowly raised his head like a person kind of like picking their arm up, like, you ready to get up? And then I had my arm over his neck and he walked me around, and that became my hippotherapy that we did every day. And even though I was coming from doctors who were saying, this is you now, this is gonna be you for, if not forever, for a long minute. And next time I went into my appointment, I like strolled right in, like, what you gotta say about this? What you gotta say about stance moves? What about this? I'm jerking. What now? Like, you know, like it just felt like such a victory.
Wow.
Yeah. That is so
And
cool.
horses helped give me that place where I wasn't afraid to fail.
And even when you were about to, he was there. That is, you know, one of the best Lyme stories I've heard. I mean, there's so much that's not understood about that disease anyway. I want to say you're the first person I've heard of that had in utero transmission. So that's mind blown.
Yeah, it just opens up a whole other thing. And I've even met people who were misdiagnosed and ended up in wheelchairs because they had MS and weren't treated early enough for Lyme and lost their legs because of it.
Wow.
And yeah, it's been a crazy journey, and I learned things that I wish I didn't know, but I know them now.
Yeah. Did your mom ever have was she ever symptomatic, or did you kind of just put two and two together?
Yeah, she put two and two together when I started getting my diagnosis and everything, because the symptoms that come out, it seems to be easy to downplay or call something else by someone else and be like, well, it just like you don't want to do anything, or you're probably depressed, or you're probably just laundry list of other things that like does a scroll down the hallway things that people try to call it. And people who are sick, man. Sometimes a person is just actually physically sick.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to deal with that way longer than I did. I was so dramatic with my symptoms that it was like, wow, we have to figure this out.
Yeah.
So I feel a lot for my mom, because she has and still does spend a lot of time with people misunderstanding what she's going through, just because she does so well handling it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the ironic part.
Right. So do you, are you still kind of battling those symptoms now, or did you kind of figure out a regimen that, you know, works for you to minimize them?
Some days it feels like I have completely defeated it, just because of how bad it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I feel like I am a living, manageable place where I feel like I can have goals and try to start to do this a little bit, and maybe I will have energy to do that. But I can't overtax myself and then like get excited and be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a 2-horse day, I'm gonna ride Stormy, and then I'm gonna Lacey, and it's gonna be amazing. And I do, and then I'm like, and I'm dying. And then for the next like 3 days, I'm kind of like down, having to recover from that.
Right.
And so it's, the biggest thing is trying to figure out what balance looks like, what my balance look like, because everybody's different. Trying to not downplay or limit what I can do beyond what I already have, but at the same time not overtaxing myself just because I get a glimmer of energy. I'm just, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do everything in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that you're able to manage that, because everybody's story is not the same.
Right.
A girl tries.
So what is your, speaking of, you know, having goals or the ability to start having them, what is your vision for the future with your horses?
I would love to take part in starting an academy that is actively looking to diversify not only the equine community, but the mounted archery community. And take this kind of special thing that brings out this warrior nature that I think is in all of us. You know, like that primal human stuff where it's just, rah, we could do it. And I feel like having a place where kids, people, whoever can like find that in themselves in ways that places in the human world might not let them. To let them feel that power that lives within them at the height that it can be reached, and have it limited by anybody's ego, because horses don't have those. Thank you. And you know, whatever else gets in the way, like it feels like a very pure place to find the best parts of yourself. And learn that you are strong. And that these little things, and sometimes big things in life, like maybe they seem a little bit more doable because, hey, I'm a badass that can share off a horse.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, that is truly inspirational.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions for her?
I don't have any more questions, but I am going to be messaging you once I go to this place.
To get her. What do you
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here.
That's cool.
I guess I'll order some pizzas.
I know. I mean, pizza's always good. I will be there to eat pizza. I will help.
Yeah, help her in that way. That is
I will
friendship.
help you make targets, okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be
I will
more
assist in your journey.
Mounted eggs?
No. Well, you know, I see like Xena Warrior Princess vibes. So I'm like, okay, Shorty's gonna come through on the horse, like pow pow, and then I'm gonna come through like, let's go, like I'm here. Me and my walking horse.
Exactly.
We're gonna show up, and
Oh my
then
gosh.
I'ma just, I don't know, like freaking the Batman little things. I mean, I feel like
Yeah, like we'll make you throwing stars.
There we go.
I have arrowheads. I'll just give you one of these. You can just throw some obsidian.
yes, I feel like we can make this work. We just gonna ride up to Oregon real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Do you have any? You've said so
For
many.
real though, that would be really cool. I would
It
really
would.
enjoy that.
It would. It's gonna go on our list.
Right.
But you've said so many inspiring things so far. But do you have any advice for aspiring equestrians or aspiring mounted archers? You know, just to kind of help them on their journey.
Well, there's a lot to say, but something that comes to mind for me that I learned a little bit later that I wish I would is if someone is giving you advice, which depending on where you're at, you might want it or whatever, but before you take it, ask yourself if you want your horse to be like their horse. For me, that's the biggest thing, is if I want my horse to act, to listen to me, to feel, to connect with me like their horse does to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if like I see something that, wow, I'd like to get me some of that, that's when I'll listen to you.
Mm-hmm. That's good advice.
Yeah.
And that's like, for me, just horses in general, not mounted archery in particular, anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good advice. For sure.
Thank you.
Well, we're not gonna take up too much of your day. I know Caitlin has got to go get her some arrows so y'all can be shooting your shot.
Right.
Make sure your arrow is at least an inch beyond your bow when you pull it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be my last thing. Thank you for what we were talking about.
Right.
Because I think I did mention that my really good friend had a little hole in her hand for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Safety first. So
Yeah,
sure
get an arrow that's too short and you pull your string back. You just like won't poke yourself in the hand and just basically impede yourself.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. She got that. An inch, at least an inch.
Right. We don't got time for all that.
No.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you for taking time out of your day to chat with us and share your story. We are really excited to share with our people. So we will let you know when this episode goes live.
Awesome. And if I could send you any videos or pictures or anything that would help, anything that you got be better, just let me know.
Okay.
But I already know it's gonna be out, so I ain't tripping about nothing. No, that's not happening.
I know. I didn't have a chance to watch all the videos you sent already, but I was like, okay, that's gonna go in her promo. So yeah. All right. Well, we will we'll let you know, and good luck with everything. Thank you. We're proud of you and all that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Gosh, thank you. Like I didn't expect that to feel so nice.
Well, we're gonna come visit, so just make us a room like back there or something, a pallet or something.
Yeah. If nothing else, I'm really glad to have 2 new friends.
Yes, heck yeah. All right, we'll let you go.
All right, cool. It's been awesome talking with you.
All right, have a good one. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Young Black Equestrians. Head over to our Facebook or Instagram pages and let us know what you thought about that episode. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and have the opportunity to be featured in our next episode. See you next week.